What is going on, everyone? This is Ben here from Instillment, and I'm going to be doing a little thumbnail tutorial for everyone today. This is going to be a YouTube and IGTV thumbnail tutorial. This is what I'm going to be creating. I'll show you up front real quick. So let's get into it. IGTV thumbnail is 1240 width by 1920 in height. If you do have the option to mess around with your resolution, then you can make that either at 200 or 300 DPI or pixels per square inch PPI. It's just going to give it really good quality, and we're going to click create here, and there you go. So you can see the general shape of what you're looking for in regards to IGTV. And the next thumbnail we're going to look at is YouTube thumbnail. Everyone thinks you need to do a 1920 by 1080 or a 1080p full HD thumbnail. You don't actually. YouTube even recommends you do a 1280 by 720. So that's what we're going to do here for YouTube. And then same thing, resolution, either 200 or 300 DPI. This one really doesn't matter that much because a lot of the time you see these YouTube thumbnails come up very small and suggestions at the right side of your screen or what have you. So you could even get away with like 100, but for the sake of quality, you're going to have to do 200 or 300 if you have the option. And it's going to look very small. So you have to make your text or whatever you want known in your thumbnail very big. However, don't clutter the thumbnail with text. No one wants to look at your thumbnail and read a story. It's there to draw people in, and that can either be through putting the title of your video in your thumbnail if it's short enough to do so. For example, I'm using the Get to Know Ben and Reese from a previous HQ episode, or it could just be something funny. Yeah, so basically what I did is I put Get to Know in nice white, italicized it, threw it over top of Ben and Reese. Super straightforward. You don't even have to be that straightforward if you want. So let's say I even want to be more simplistic. I'm going to get rid of the Get to Know portion. So now it's just Ben and Reese. Basically, I went and added Q&A at the bottom. I used a plus instead of the and because you never want to complicate everything if you don't have to. So Q&A, you're going to use the ampersand in between A. So I'm obviously not going to use it again in between Ben and Reese. So I just used a plus instead. I'm going to throw in a photo of myself looking real nice and a photo of Sailor Reese. Ahoy! To simplify this, if I were to be making this in a program other than Photoshop, where you can't really cut out images, you could just go ahead, throw them side by side, maybe throw a background picture in and throw the background picture below everything else. And you can put the text on top. Change the color so you can actually see it, make it show up, make it black, lower, raise things. That's worst case, but a lot of free programs out there give you the ability to cut backgrounds out of your photos. I think even PowerPoint nowadays has a built-in tool to kind of remove backgrounds for you. So let's get into this edit. You're only going to hear me from this point forward, so enjoy. Now, again, there are free programs that will do this as well, but worst comes to worst, you don't have to cut people out. But I would definitely recommend either getting the trial for Adobe Photoshop. There's a lot of great straightforward tutorials out there. You can learn how to do this in no time. I'm not even doing this properly either. In fact, I'm just doing a quick magnetic lasso. Usually I would go in and make this a mask out the main subject, remove the background that way, but for the sake of time, I just wanted to get it done. So, and that's the thing too, I mean, you're basically going to see these for a fraction of a second before you click on a video, and you're going to see them very small. So you're not really going to be able to pick up inconsistencies and small little details that you usually would if this was expanded. So don't worry about, you know, a lot of hard edges or stuff like that. You try and smooth them out best you can, but it's not the end of the world if you can't get it looking perfect. So I'm going to finish cutting out Reese here. You see how I didn't really care about the bottom corner and that, so I'm just going to smooth it out, feather it a little bit. Okay. Right click, layer via copy, and then delete the underside of the layer. And then basically label that Reese there. Basically, I'm just gonna go in now and move him down a little bit like that, just to cover up that terrible corner I had going on there, and give it a little drop shadow for separation. That's a good thing too to practice, is just kind of separating your subjects from the rest of your thumbnail scene here, just to give it a little bit of depth and just to make it look a little better. So I'm gonna throw myself in. I'm gonna do basically the exact same thing. Make a quick magnetic lasso trace, remove the background, and then I'm going to go and place myself accordingly to try and cover up where Reese's arm is cut off there. So All right, so now I'm just gonna resize the background photo just because it's a little small. Stretch it out there. And that looks pretty good. Now, the bottom left corner over here looks a little empty. So to fill that up, this is a question and answer period. So I'm gonna head over to Google. I'm gonna see if I can find just a photo of something to do with a questionnaire, or maybe like some check boxes, like a digital questionnaire, just like a little graphic to fill that bottom left corner up. Always when you're searching for photos, search for whatever you're searching for and then follow that by PNG. A PNG basically means that there will be no background to the file. This one I chose, I didn't even do that. And I didn't follow my own rule of making sure it was a transparent PNG with no background. I'm gonna have to manually remove the background. I'm just gonna do this, rasterize. There you go, with the magic erase tool. Works best on solid colors, so all the white disappears just with a click. Then I'm gonna double click, color overlay. I'm gonna change that to white. And I'm gonna put a black layer on the underside. So I basically just reverse the colors. There are easier ways to do this. There are harder ways to do this, but this is the way I'm doing it. Fill, contents black. Okay, and there we go. So now we have a white iPad with black screen, and it looks like a little questionnaire on the iPad here. So just merge those layers. So now it's just one file. I'm gonna rename it tablet, give it a little drop shadow for separation, and now I'm gonna size it up. Cool. So that works for me, and I think we are done. Nope, I lied. I made a boo-boo. So I forgot to cut out the background in between Reese's hand and his shoulder here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that really quick. One thing you really want to do for YouTube is do not put anything important in the bottom right corner. That is where you will, that's where you're going to see the timestamp for a video if you're looking through a list of videos. And if you put anything important there, it will get covered up by the numbers indicating the length of that video. So avoid the bottom right corner, avoid putting anything important there. Again, text should be very big, very prominent. Let's go over to IGTV. I'm going to kind of cheat here. I'm going to throw in the same background photo, of course. I'm going to keep them kind of consistent. Also, yeah, if you are going to share them between IGTV and YouTube and even Facebook, just make sure the thumbnail is consistent throughout. I'm going to cheat here a little bit. I'm going to copy my assets I already cut out from my previous. That's a benefit to Photoshop. You can do that. If not, it's the same process. Just find a program, if you don't use Photoshop, that can cut backgrounds out and, you know, do it again, throw it in this IGTV. But because it's Photoshop, for all you Photoshop users out there, you can do that. Command-Shift-C or Control-Shift-C on Windows after you've highlighted subjects with a transparent background in one canvas can be pasted with Control or Command-V in another canvas and used again. So that's what I did here. And I'm basically just tracing around the plane wing at this point just to kind of make it look like we're just sitting below the engine. I'm gonna do the same thing with the text. Again, a really big advantage for Photoshop here, just so you don't have to redo everything for separate thumbnails. I just Command-Shift-C'd and then Command-V'd, so copy and pasted it in, copy and pasted the text in. So everything remains consistent. I don't really like it up top. I'm gonna bring it in to the wing. I'm gonna kind of rotate it here just to match the angular kind of nature of what's going on here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now, for IGTV thumbnails, you don't have to clutter it as much per se as your YouTube thumbnail. I'm probably not even gonna put that tablet in. You also have to make sure that everything fits within a centered square for IGTV, because the preview of your thumbnail will show up on just your regular Instagram feed. Like if someone clicks on your profile, they'll see that. They'll see that square. You won't see the top portion or the bottom. So make sure everything is centered. All your subjects are centered for your IGTV thumbnail, as well as the text. Text can be off to the left or right of this, or top or bottom, but as long as it's in that centered kind of square area that I have highlighted, then you are good to go for IGTV. So yeah, those are my thumbnail making techniques. If you have any questions, or you want further detail, or you want a complete Photoshop oriented tutorial on, you know, how to make these masks specifically, if you're new to Photoshop, or if you just need general tips and you're just trying out the Adobe Photoshop trial and you want me to go over some stuff, do us a favor, comment on this video, let us know if you'd like something like that, let us know if you'd like something more in depth, and we'll get on that right away. There's no time like the present for stuff like this, so it's always good to pick up a new skill and learn. Thanks so much for watching this, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next one. This is Ben from Instillment signing off.